Book two, this is Alan, and I hope that light is not too bright. I can lower those blinds. It fades in and out a lot of times. Or welcome back to my channel. This is Friday Reads. So yeah, uh, Thursday and Friday I have the day off from work, and so I go work out at the gym. Thursday and Fridays I both have a split shift at the gym where I work out like around 11 o'clock in the afternoon and then go back around 8 o'clock at night and do a workout. And yesterday I worked out on my legs, which no one who ever works out likes to say they like to work out on their legs because it is hard. And it's like I said before, or not on this channel, but previously, after you get done with working on your legs, and you try to walk out of the gym, you go, well, I was walking when I came in here. So you do leg squats and leg presses, hack squats, and you do work on your hamstrings, and you do your calves, and it hurts, and you can't even sit down. It hurts, and you can't even bend over. It hurts. So yeah, that's why I did it on Thursday. So maybe by tomorrow when I go back to work, it'll be fine. So today I went to visit with my friend, Laundry. Remember, if you don't have any friends, Laundry is always there for you. And while I was meeting with my friend, I read a book, and there's this one, The Lost Pianos of Siberia. This is by Sophia Roberts. This is her debut novel, and it comes out August the 4th. And it's around 343 pages. It has notes and bibliography in it, I believe. A very extensive work she did. She is a British writer. And I had this on my NetGalley account, and I decided to go ahead and buy the physical book rather than reading it on e-reader. So it's map of Russia and Siberia is right. When you get past the Ural Mountains and go into the eastern part of Russia, the landscape dramatically changes. Parts of Siberia looks like the moon. I'm serious, it does. It's beyond anything else. I have followed a couple of people on my Instagram page who had to film in this area. They filmed in this area. Here we go. This area here, past the Ural Mountains. And they were showing on the Instagram page, and it looks amazing. It's hard to believe. So she begins about how it started. So see, here's Siberia here, and you have Western Russia, and the people in Europe would call this Eastern, the East, but it's actually the West. And then the East would be over here in this area. And the author begins with Catherine the Great. And there's a picture of her. See if I can find it here. And she was actually the one. Here it is. See if you can see that. Under the sun glare. And she's there with by listening to a performance. That's her here, right here. She's listened to the performance by Giovanni Palisero. And Palisero composed extensively and gave piano lessons. And this drawing is from 1881. But Catherine the Great was one that tried to bring Russia into the cultural elite, along with Europe, the rest of Europe, like Italy and France in Austria by presenting pianos and inviting people over, performers, composers, to come over to perform along with arts. And here's one right here. The Irish Pianist, I'll read you a little part. Soon after arriving in Russia in 1802, the Irish pianist John Field, the inventor of the nocturne, a short, dreamlike love poem for the piano, could name his prize as both a performer and teacher in salons of Moscow and St. Petersburg. Field sounded the first chord, as it were, the Russian cult of the piano, by the celebrity of the Hungarian Franz Liszt, which turned the Russian love of the instrument into a fever in the 1940s. Women grabbed at strands of Liszt's iconic bob hair to wear it close to the chest in lockets. Fans fought over his silk hankies, coffee dregs, and cigarette butts. And you have German girls fastened bracelets from the piano string he snapped and turned the cherry stones he spat out into amulets. And when he played in St. Petersburg, let me back up. When Liszt left Berlin for Russia in the spring of 1842, his coach was drawn by 6 white horses and followed by a procession of 30 carriages. When he played in St. Petersburg in April, the famous master of pianos, a reputation derived from the broken instruments Liszt left in his wake, drew the largest audience St. Petersburg has ever seen for the event. Liszt leaped up on stage, threw his white kid gloves on the floor, and he bowed low, and then the hall rocketed with adulation as he played from one piano, then another facing the opposite direction, as a performance for Tsarina in Prussia 2 years earlier. Liszt had broken string after string in his tortured piano. So that gives you a bit about Liszt and what Catherine the Great was trying to do: introduce to the Russian people a culture they had never seen before. And most of the pianos were made by a Bavarian piano maker named Becker. And this is Becker. St. Petersburg made Becker piano. And this is at the Paris World's Fair of 1878 with the Shah of Persia. And a lot of those pianos were sent by they had the new Trans-Siberian Railway, which is 5.5 miles long. And it was, most of them were sent on the train, but most of them were pianos, upright, were taken by carriages across the ice. So you have people like this. This is people who had originally lived in Siberia, the indigenous people that used to live there. This author sets out to find out about these pianos, and are they still there? What happened to them? And what became of them? Is there any still there? So it's a very good book so far. I'm enjoying this one. The other readings I've been doing this week, I'm trying to read. I can't get interested in Jane Austen's Sense and Sensibility. I'm only on page 132, and I really can't get into this. I'll continue to read it and see what happens. The next book I'm reading is a read-along hosted by Jason at Byways of Bookland. His wife is in the hospital, so just remember him and his wife. This is Focalist Pendulum by Berto Eco. I'm on page 244, and he wants us to read 1,000 pages before his next video of the read-along. yesterday, on my book tag I gave, was the summer school book tag, I mentioned books and the problem I had with books. And one of the problems I had, they had a big sale, so I decided to order some books from an author by the name of Michael Grant. And I saw the author's name on Todd Burton Bookcase channel when he was given a book tour or library shelf tour and showed some classical and Greek and classical Roman books and said that Michael Grant was really good. Well, I don't have any Greek or classical Greek or classical Roman books, so I went ahead and ordered 3 books from Books. This next day, they sent me an email saying, "Oh, we have to cancel one." A couple of days later, they sent me another email saying, "Oh, we're going to have to cancel this." So I only got 1 book coming out of 3. So I was going, what's going on here? And they sent me an email. Now, basically, I said, well, this is the last time I order from these people. And they sent me an email back the next day saying that what occurs is that you have a seller will go to Books and say, "Oh, I got this book. I'm going to try to sell it. Can I sell on your website?" And the Books will say, "Sure. Just post a picture of it." And I guess they get a percentage, and you have to mail it to the person. And so the one of the books, well, both books were canceled, were because the seller sold it to somebody that came into the shop instead of holding it and sending it to me. So I got this one, Michael Grant's The Classical Greeks. This came the other day, and this is by published this one, and this History Book Club, Book of the Month Club of New York, and printed in 1999, I believe it says. So anyway, yeah, it shows 1989. So this was one, it was processed on July the 9th, and I got it like Tuesday, and so that was that one. And so I figured, well, I'm going to have to either reorder those other ones or go to another company and reorder, because I really wanted something on ancient Rome. Well, yesterday I got this book, The Roman Emperors by Michael Grant, and this is a biographical guide to the rulers of Imperial Rome, 31 BC to AD 476. And this is one of the ones that Books canceled. And this actually, they must have had a second section or something. And that the seller of this was OI Books Libras. And they have like classical, medieval, Renaissance books and more. And so yeah, this is actually a UK edition. Yeah, this is a UK edition. Windenfeld and Nicholson in London. And it was published in Great Britain in 1996. And so I don't like the cover on this. And just like it says, it gives different biographical sketch. Starts with Augustus. And then it goes on. Julian Claudian dynasty. And it goes on with Tiberius is next. And so it just goes on like that. And I'm glad I got this one, because I had this. Don't have anything on the classical Roman or the emperors, Roman emperors. So it has also helped with when you're reading in scripture. And by the way, I started I started a new book of the Bible I'm reading. This is Robert Alter's translation, Strong as a Death and Love. And I'm going through the book of Daniel. Daniel is mostly used in and when people talk about the end times, Daniel's name comes up a lot. So the book does, not him. The book does. So I'll be reading that. Yeah, the book of Daniel. And everybody knows about book Daniel and the Lion's Den. And yeah. So thank you for watching, and thank you for the subscribers, and thank you for the comments. I really appreciate it, and y'all have a good weekend.